and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children above the age of 18. It is I. Yes, it is I. The one, the only Roberto Negro. All right, where to begin? So much to get into. And I know we're starting late. I had to put the kids. Why? I put one kids. Okay. I had to put one kid to sleep. The other one, Martini put to sleep. I had the 5-year-old. I put him to sleep. What am I going to say? No? What am I going to say? No, I got to go talk to fucking a bunch of wrestling fans and people that work for me, so we could go on a message board and talk shit. The fuck am I gonna say to that? He'll be in therapy. She'll be like, I don't know why. All I wanted from my father was love. And he told me that he was too busy. He had to go talk on a podcast with all these people about poop and pee and cunts. I couldn't let my kids go down that path. I couldn't. So I said, come on. And he's like, oh, we're going to read a book? I go, yeah, what book are you going to get? He goes, I got a new book from the library. It's about disgusting tarantulas. And I go, all right, but listen, Mage, if it's one of them explanation books, what's explanation mean? I go, if it's one of them books where you're going to ask me 1,000 questions, we're not going to read that. This is bedtime. This is to relax your brain. We read something fun like PJ Masks. Because I don't want PJ Masks. I want disgusting tarantulas. So we go upstairs. Lay down in bed. And sure shit, this tarantula grows, I don't know, 8 inches. And then, what is that called? Oh, you fuck. That, and then this is this, and this is the antenna. All sorts of, I can't even pronounce the fucking name. You know what's so funny? I mispronounce the names of the shit. And he doesn't know. He's fucking 5 years old. What the fuck does he know? He goes, what is that? And I'm like, that's the Mushinanu. And he goes, the Mushinanu? I go, yeah, that's what he's got on his head so he could feel when other bugs are on him. Oh, the Mushinanu. I go, yeah, the Mushinanu. And I'm thinking to myself, this fucking kid's going to go in class. Teacher's like, what's this? Mushinanu. And they're going to be like, mate, what is that? What do you mean? That's the antenna. Yeah, but that's not what it's pronounced this way. And then he's going to come home. Dad, you were wrong. It's not a Mushinanu. Back in therapy. My dad, he would lie. He would tell me the wrong names on the books because he's fucking stupid. He didn't graduate. He didn't go to college. This stupid motherfucker lied to me in a bunch of children books. Now I think Mushinanu is what the antennas are on a fucking spider's head. There you go. But it's a Mushinanu, so. Anyways. 10 minutes. Fucker was out. Maybe 15. So, I come down. And then Martini's like, do you got a cube for the charger on the phone? The fuck, man? Fucking cube on the fucking charger. But here we are. Now, we could start with there's a lot of things we could get into. We could start with the show. Or we can jump to after the show where I didn't get home until 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's not because I'm taking shitty airline. I mean, I guess that's all subjective. But normally when a promoter has to fly somebody in, they go for the cheapest flight that's got like 17 layovers. It's not that. It's not that. So we get to the airport. And I see my good friend Michael Moran, producer extraordinaire. And if you guys want to see the producer extraordinaire, go to my Facebook. And I only posted the picture with 2 cans stacked on his passed out sleeping head. I think they got up to like 4. I think Willie Mack has got a picture with 4 cans stacked up there. But it's funny when I left on Sunday, and this just shows you how compassionate. You ever hear the term compassionate conservative? It was a big thing back in the 80s. Mike Moran is a compassionate producer because we're getting ready to leave. So I got to get to the airport. We have our little morning powwow, and he's like, "Hey, man," with this nice, caring voice. He's like, "Do you know how Masada?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Well, Masada, he hasn't gone to sleep yet. I think he's asleep in the bed. How, is he all set on an airplane? A ride to the airport?" And Willie, and I'm like, "Listen, after the show, fuck everybody. They're on their own. They're all big boys. That's it." And he's like, like very compassionate about it. But as I'm driving, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I'll show a smidgen of concern. And then I forgot about it as I got to the fucking airport. So I get in line, I get my fucking, we make it barely. I go and get some like hot burritos or whatever the fuck it is, some. They already made them and they're in the warmer. So I hit up Mega Munch and I'm thinking, all right, let me do it. I go, "Hey man," I go, somebody's taking Masada to the airport. And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, we already took care of it, man. He's going to the airport with Hardcore Hillbilly." So right there, I just started laughing. I'm like, "Oh, okay, just wanted to make sure, He's like, yeah, dude, all good." I was like, all right. And then I was like, fucking Moran, making me all concerned. And they're already on top of it. They got Masada in the back of the car with fucking Hardcore Hillbilly. Who, by the way, took a fucking guitar shot. And that was no gimmick to guitar. Like, I was checking that guitar out, and I'm like, who's taking this? And they're like, "Oh, Hardcore Hillbilly's going to take that guitar." And I was thinking, oh, that fat motherfucker, ugh, Jesus Christ. He's going to be more fucking retarded than he already is. It's like, all right. And when that spot came up, I'm standing there with fucking Moran, and I'm just like, boom! I said, oh, this fucker died. I said, this motherfucker died. And I seen him at, how was that? Was that good? I'm like, you got it, hillbilly. All right. He told me the night before, I was hanging out with, with Masada and Necro all night. We didn't sleep, and I don't really drink because alcohol tastes funny to me, So unless it's like with some punch or some, juice like that, I can't have really any alcohol. So I was trying to drink some beers, and Masada making fun of me, and Necro, they were just making fun of me all night because I couldn't really drink because I don't like the taste of alcohol. I said, this motherfucker. I go, so what, you just sat there? I just sat there with Butcher and Masada. And they just drank, must have drank 60 beers between them. I said, oh, okay, fucking hardcore. Right on, man. Right on. So, gotta give it to hardcore hillbilly. And then I get on the plane and I pay the fucking crazy service, like the $20 or $29.95 to have fucking internet for 4 hours. But I'm posting and trying to do some business besides posting up all the pictures and this person won. So I get a text from Matt. Butcher missed his flight. And I'm like, looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I go, fuck, man, these guys. So now they send me a video, and it's Mega Maga, Butcher, Matt, Metal Matt, Hardcore Hillbilly, and the part-time patrol agent, the insurrectionist Mega Munch. And they're playing like Waylon Jennings, the Butcher's in the fucking shotgun, singing, and the Hardcore Hillbilly is like bobbing his head as the fucking Mexicans driving with the other Mexican in the back seat taking videos. And I'm like, dude, I thought Hardcore left with Masada. And he's like, I guess they delayed his flight. And I'm like, you guess? And he goes, yeah, they delayed it until midnight. I go, so what the fuck have you guys been doing? He's like, oh, we just been driving around listening to country, drinking beers. I said, oh my God. Imagine that. And then Danny's just sending me videos all throughout the plane ride, all these videos of them. Telling you. And I wrote this in my Facebook post. And this will offend a lot of the woke, very woke, not just woke wrestling fans, but woke wrestlers and some of the older wrestlers that are afraid of the woke mob. Who then kind of pretend the 90s didn't happen. It's like, oh yeah, bring back the 90s. Excessive drug use, drinking, chair shot, CTE. And it's like, well, okay, whatever. Yeah. wrestlers of today don't do that. What they do is they get done wrestling, okay? They get done wrestling on a GCW show. They go back to their hotel rooms. They paint their fingernails. And they play video games. Because the wrestlers and the wrestling fans of today are fucking gamers, okay? All you 90 wrestlers are all old, odd, phased out dinosaurs. Nobody cares about you guys anymore. You're all brain damaged. Okay. Well, our crew is definitely a throwback to the 90s. And listen, you little wokesters, if you really think that's what is going on, you're very sadly mistaken. Okay? Our crew just doesn't fucking hide it. When you walk into the Sheraton, the fucking lobby, there's about 9 to 10 XPW wrestlers getting fucked up, being loud and obnoxious. I'm not necessarily overly proud that that's the representation, but it is what it is. You do think you're in a time warp. Because you're like, oh, it's the fucking Necro Butcher. Oh, it's Masada. Oh, Willie Mack. All of these guys that have been working. Fuck, Necro and Masada. And fucking, even the guys like Schlack that haven't been working for 25 years. They're on the older scale. They're not some 24-year-old, deathmatch fanboy that's doing death matches, and as the camera pans in on their face, they're like, and then they wink and blow a kiss to the fucking camera. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So they at least remember going to the shows back in the 90s, and being part of that and seeing guys like Wife Beater and, that era. But yeah, crazy shit. I come down at 5 o'clock in the morning. Beer is flowing. And this isn't just the boys. I mean, you're talking Lou Dark is down there. The women, forget about it. The women of XPW. Like I said, at one point, I don't know, 10, half the maybe the whole fucking locker room is posted up in the goddamn lobby of the Sheraton. And we're not talking, Motel 6. Not that I don't put the boys and girls up at Motel 6, but we happen to get a good deal at the Sheraton. But there they are, posted up. 5 o'clock in the morning, I tell Willie, I said, I gotta go to bed, bro. I mean, I'm not hanging out with the boys. Just come down, say hello, pass out some money. Come on, man. Stay with us. I said, I'm not staying. And I look over and they start stacking the beer cans on Mike Moran's head. And I said, I gotta get a picture of that. So I got that picture with Willie Mack doing the gangster sign. Good stuff. Good stuff. But, you know what? The feeling that I have with this crew is very much the same feeling I had 25 years ago. I mean, it is. It's that same feeling. There is no separation per se. I don't want to tell I don't want to stooge out a story, but somebody in our group that's not a wrestler was told that they weren't part of the crew. And it's not our crew. It's somebody working for another wrestling organization. And we're told by a very well-known indie wrestler that, hey, you're not one of the boys. You're just part of the other aspect. And listen, we are all in this together. Yeah, you're not one of the boys. You're not out there going through plate glass windows. But if you're part of the production team, or you're part of, ring crew, or anything that is with us from the time we get there to the time we end, a fucking referee, you are just as important as anybody else. And I say that with a full heart, obviously. Everybody's not equal. But as far as saying, oh, who are you? You're just part of this side. Fuck you. We could talk to you or shit on you or whatever. And so we don't do that. At least, listen, if you're part of us, I hold you to a standard that is no different than the standard by which the top of the card, as far as the boys work, all the way down to the bottom. So if you got one of the boys at the top of the card and they're busting their ass and they're practically dying, I expect you, if you're running music, to do the same thing. If you're a camera guy, if you're a producer, all of those things. So, our crew is very, very in sync. And so when I posted in that post about from the top to the bottom, and I know I miss people, and like I said in my post, if you're with us, that means you're valuable. If you're not, you're not valuable. I always remember, and this isn't just a wrestling thing. I mean, this is, in any aspect of life. Make yourself valuable. Make yourself an asset. Ryan Katz, Smiley, will tell you, he got his NXT job 10 plus years ago, and he's got his job back. He got his NXT job because he made himself so valuable. Getting rid of him was never an option. Because there was never anybody else that could do his job. And he learned that from me. What do you think? Smiley went to NXT. He already knew how to shoot camera. He already knew how to edit. He knew how to produce a wrestling TV show. He knew how to author a DVD. He knew how to do special effects. He did all of that stuff with me. When he got his job, and he was dealing with Dusty, Dusty was like, wow, I'm not going to do the Dusty voice, but if you will. But he was like, you know how to do all of this stuff. How did you know? And of course, that was, the inside thing was, he came from XPW. He worked for the porn company. But when he moved from Colorado to LA, he didn't know anything. He moved to Colorado to LA to come and work for XPW. That's what he wanted to do. That was his goal. And he started at the bottom. Listen, no different than Webb. Webb didn't know how to. I sent Webb to editing school. This is back when it wasn't, Final Cut and all of these editing programs that now are a dummy can do. I sent Webb to a $2,000 editing course. Learn how to edit. He had no idea how to edit. Sent him to school. Sent a wrestler to school. You have to make yourself valuable. And if you only have one certain skill set, you're on borrowed fucking time. So, our crew that we have now, that we are developing, is very much reminiscent of that 90s crew that I had. It's very reminiscent. So, I appreciate all them. And again, go to my Facebook and take a look at producer extraordinaire Mike Moran with empty cans stacked on his head. It's pretty funny. And then I had to go to bed. And they all stayed up all night. But we get on the airplane and the GPS is broke. So the pilot's like, it's going to be another fucking 20 minutes. I don't know, whatever. So now we're flying to get to North Carolina to catch the plane to Rochester. And I'm looking, I'm looking at how long our layover is. And I keep saying Martini, I'm like, we're not going to make this connecting flight. I go, it ain't going to fucking happen. He's like, don't say that, you're going to jinx it. I go, I'm just saying, we're not going to fucking, and we're in the back of the plane. I go, every one of these assholes that are in front of us, forget about it. So we get into North Carolina. I get the update on my phone that says the plane is boarding and we'll be done, fucking boarding in 15 minutes. So I tell her, I go, we got 15 minutes to get off this plane. We get off the plane with like 14 minutes. We get to the gate, which is right next door, and they got it closed already. Closed, it says on the board. I said, but but the fucking plane is right there. I'm looking at the plane. And they still got the goddamn thing connected where assholes are walking in and out of the fucking plane. I'm like, ma'am, the plane, it's right there. She's like, it's closed. And I go, but it's right there. Just open the door. She goes, the plane's already closed. I go, but it's right there. She goes, but the plane's closed. I go, but the thing is there. Open the door. She goes, you don't understand, sir. She starts raising her voice. You don't understand, sir. The plane door is closed. They're not going to open the plane door. Now, I could get you on another plane, or you know what? You could go down to customer service, which will be, so now Catherine's pulling me. And I'm just watching the plane. So think about the tease. Here's a plane that we're going to miss that is right there. It's right fucking there. It's like being so thirsty and hungry, and you haven't fucking eaten or drank in 3 goddamn days. And you're staring at a gallon of water and a goddamn pizza in front of a glass window, behind a glass window, right in front of your face. So she's talking to me, telling me, well, there's nothing tonight, but we could get you out tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the fucking plane is still there. And I say to her again, I go, but the plane is right there. Just have them open. I can't, sir. Do you want this flight? Yes. I go, you got nothing else? She goes, we don't have anything else. I go, but is there any other? And she goes, we don't control. And I go, but it's your fault. And now I can see she's like a second away from calling fucking airport security. And now I get arrested on a federal, charge of harassing this wonderful woman in the North Carolina airport. She's probably just waited all of her life to be able to fucking yell at people like me. Now I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry I'm yelling. It's like, there's really nothing we could do. I go, okay. She goes, here is your new flight and a voucher for $50 for the hotel. What fucking hotel are you going to stay at for $50? I listen, we stayed at the biggest piece of shit hotel in fucking Newark, New Jersey. We stayed at a Motel 6 by the fucking airport. I don't think I've ever stayed in a more disgusting, filthy, vile, repugnant hotel in my life. And that fucking hotel was $100. Where are you going with $50? Seriously, where are you going with $50? Wipe my asshole with $50. So now Catherine, I could tell she's got the tears in her eyes. Because, she wants to see the kids. We're supposed to take the kids to, school in the morning. Just all of that shit that's already been planned, but now it's like, fuck. So she's looking online, and no airlines got any flights going out. So I punch in Buffalo, which is already, booked. And I'm like, what about Syracuse? I'm like, well, maybe that would work. Because it didn't dawn on me to ask the lady. So all of a sudden it says Syracuse, 10:32. And I go, what about this? She goes, it's already 10:30. I was like, yeah, but it says it's still boarding. Like, it doesn't say gone. I go, it's at, gate, whatever. So so we start walking down, and out of the corner of my eye, I just see an American Airlines rep, and I said, hon, can I ask you a question? She goes, yeah. And I give her a little explanation. She goes, punches up, and she goes, that Syracuse flight. I go, why is it still lingering? She goes, they're having mechanical issues, so it's delayed until 11:30. I go, could I get on that airplane? I go, if they're going to rebook me, she goes, yeah, if you could get to the gate. I go, where's the gate? She goes, B whatever. And I go, or she goes, customer service. And I go, where's customer service? She points me, and it's like a big line. I go, fuck. She goes, go to the gate. So I go to the gate. And there's all these people waiting there for Syracuse. And I said, as I leave, I go, they got any empty seats? She goes, yeah. She goes, I see about 8 of them. I go, how many people you think at this airport are vying for seats to go to Syracuse? She goes, you're probably fine. So now we go there, and there's a guy at the little ticketing thing. I'm like, bro, can you help me? And he's like, well, I'm not even really working here. I just had to come over here for a set. And I'm like, so I explained to him, and he goes, now he's like playing games. He's like, do you have any check-on bags? And I'm like, no. And he's like, very good. And he's kind of got a little accent, maybe Bulgarian. I don't fucking know. But definitely something, something in that eastern block of the country. Of the world, I should say. So, and then he goes, do you want to sit together? Let me ask you, is he the love of your life? And I'm like, oh, this fucking, just get us on the fucking plane! Count Dracula, get it on the fucking plane! She's like, oh yeah, ha 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 ha. And he goes, now, let me ask you here. Are you foregoing all transportation and all vouchers? And I go, yes. You have your own way to get to Rochester from Syracuse. I go, yes. Okay. And he pushes the button. He goes, you're booked. The plane leaves. He goes, oh, it's delayed again. It won't go out until 1. And I go, okay. So we get the tickets, and now I look at Martina. I go, do you think we did the right thing? She goes, yeah, why? I go, fuck. I don't think we're going to find a rental car at 1 o'clock. I go, 3 in the morning? She says, what about an Uber? I go, I think it'd probably be like $100 Uber ride. Now, Syracuse is an hour and 20 minutes away. I go, but here's the problem, hon. I go, finding an Uber at 3 in the morning in Syracuse. And then, if we do, we got to get them to drive us to Rochester. She goes, well, at least we're in Syracuse. I go, yeah. I go, fuck. So I start calling the rental places, and they don't open until 7 o'clock. And I go, listen, if that worst come to worst, I go, we get a rental car. She goes, so what do? We get to Syracuse, we stay in the... I go, well, if it says we're not going to get there till 3. I go, it's, what, 4 hours? She's like, oh. So this is fucking hard. I go, Alex has got the kids. I go, we can't leave the kids alone. She goes, well, call Byron. See if Byron could go to the house. I'm like, okay. I go, okay, we could do this. So I hit up fucking Byron. I go, Byron, what are you doing? And he's like, and I could tell when I call him at weird times like that, I could tell, like he has to answer me. He can't fucking, he can't jerk me off. So he knows that, but it's like, oh, fuck, what's he want me to do? I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm sitting here. And I go, well, how fucking drunk are you? And he's like, I've had like my 2 beers. And I go, well, it doesn't matter. I go, here's what's going on. I go, our fucking plane's fucked up. And I go, the next flight they got is like 10, 11 in the morning tomorrow. I go, we can get out on, I go, we're getting out on this plane and we're going to Syracuse. And he's like, so you need to be able to get from Syracuse to Rochester. I go, yes. I go, I don't know if the plane's going to get delayed tomorrow. We don't get home until noon. He goes, okay, so what do you want me to do? I go, okay. I go, I need you to drive to my house and pass out on the couch. I don't give a fuck what you do. Just make sure if the kids wake up and they come downstairs, they're not alone, and they're like, oh, it's Uncle Tommy, and he's sleeping on the couch. I wonder what's up. He's like, well, obviously, you're in a bind. I'm going to do it, but I was just getting ready to eat my soup. I go, soup? I go, oh, yeah, you don't got any fucking teeth. I go, oh, why so late? He's like, well, I had to work a double. And I'm like, oh, because of my night schedule, everything's fucked up. I go, dude, eat the fucking soup and then just go to fucking, okay. When do I got to go over there? I go, I don't know. It's going to take her an hour and a half to get to the Syracuse. I go, I get in at 3. She leaves at like 1. It's like, fine, I'll be there at 1:45. Boom, that's done. Now, I already know what the fuck's Alex going to say. Again, they're not going to say no. I go, Alex. She's like, what? I go, Byron's coming over. I go, I'm flying into Syracuse. She's like, so you need me to come pick you up? I go, yes. What car do you want me to take? I go, what do you mean what car do you want me to take? So I go, do you got luggage? I go, I don't got any luggage. I go, but take Martini's car. So Byron then goes to my house. She gets in the car, drives to Syracuse. We get in at 3. She rolls up at 2:30, puts the hazards on. We get out. We see her right there at the Syracuse airport. I knock on the window. She fucking wakes up. She gets out, gets in the back seat. Martini gets in the passenger seat. And now I proceed to drive from Syracuse back to fucking Rochester. And not only do I not get to go straight home, but then I have to take Alex home to her house. So now I get back to Rochester, 4:30. I get Alex to her house by 5. I get back to our house at 5:15. I go upstairs. Actually, I go and I got to take a shit. I haven't taken a shit in like a day and a half. By that time, Catherine's already upstairs. She's in the bed. Both kids are in the bed. And I'm like, well, that ain't fucking happening. I go into the other... Well, I go into Major's room. I lay in his goddamn bed. She gets up in an hour and a half. She takes Major to school, comes back. Brock is up. She goes downstairs with Brock. I get up a half hour later because the deal I had to make with Byron was that I would work in the goddamn morning. So now I get up at 8. Stumble downstairs. There she is passed out on the couch. And Brock's running through the kitchen and the living room and the family room and the sunroom. Throwing shit around, fucking drawing on shit. I said, oh, fuck me. I hug him. He goes back in the room. She's out. I get in the car. I drive to Extreme Gifts. And I start selling people dildos, vape carts, and motherfucking edibles. That, motherfuckers, was how I got home. And as my good friend Hardbody said, as he was snuggled in his little bed in Canada, damn, you own the company and we all got home before you. I said, yeah. And I had to drive. But it's all good. I don't give a fuck. Because that's how we roll. Just sticking around, and this is how we roll. And this is how we play. And this is Rob Black. It's the Rob Black Show. I'm proud to be an American. We'll be right right back. All right, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children above the age of 18. Yeah, so there's my story. But we pulled it off. The show was great. And listen, I know. I mean, listen. Were there some things that I was like, ugh, like, you know, the referee that my Mexican friends brought along. They kind of fucked up the count. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But let's face it. I think every week I see on, some botch reel an AEW performer. And they're supposed to be the big time. But all in all, from start to finish, the best show. Now, there's aspects that could have been better. Of course. And I could go to a past show, rather Night of Reckoning or, something like that, and say, well, that was better than what we did here. Yeah. But if you take all the parts, and I'm talking about stuff that you guys don't even fucking know. Like the fucking ring crew. Who after, let's see, 5 shows, finally got it right. And I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago. When somebody asked if we were using the same crew. The 3 Mexicans. The father, the 19-year-old son, and the 12-year-old son. And I said, Ruben promised. Because I was done with them. I was done with the ring crew. And Ruben goes, I promise you. I talked to them. I told them that you were going to get rid of them. They had to fucking come with a crew. They had to get the ring up by noon. They had all of these things. And I said, all right. I said, Ruben, if you can guarantee it. And Ruben's like, I will guarantee it. I guarantee it. If they fuck up, if it's not, you could berate me on the radio. You could fucking call me names. And I'm like, all right, dude. I go, I'll give them one more shot. And these motherfuckers, they left the dad home, and the little 12-year-old boy was like the leader. And they came with like 5 people. Like, they came with the fucking crew. And voila, the fucking ring was up. And the little boy was like, looking at me like, huh? Yeah, and I'm thinking, asshole, you should have done this 5 shows ago. And I told him at the end of the night, I said, I gotta give it to you. I gave him his money. I go, it only took you 5 shows, but you finally fucking nailed it. And he smiled at me like, like, yeah, okay, gringo, fuck you. So he gave me the, fuck you. Give me my pay me. Give me my fucking money. You ain't getting this again, asshole. This was a one-time treat. This was like the wife that fucking gives you the blowjob once a year on your fucking birthday and lets you come in her mouth, and then she spits it out. I was like, that's it. There you go. Fuck you. That's what he gave me the look. I go, you finally got it right. Give me my money. I give him his money. Bye. Bye, Rob. Bye, you little prick. You fuck. You little fucker. But they hit it. So, things that you don't know or I know we talk about it on the show, so the diehards that listen to the program know. But from that to the men's. Fucking men. And again, you don't even know yes. We all, the wrestling companies, you go to Habitat of Humanity, you go to the Salvation Army, you go to these, you buy doors for $5, you go. But fucking Mins was like on a mission, man. That motherfucker was on a goddamn mission. And he was going to this Habitat. They only had 5 doors. Oh, they didn't have any tubes. I'm going to try this other place. And I'm like, oh, Chad, I just fucking need you. He's like, just trust me. I'm going to. All of a sudden, he sends me a picture of like 50 doors, like 9,000 light tubes. I was like, wow. So again, you don't know that stuff, but I've never had that before. Never had somebody with that type, and he's, not from there. So you can't use the, fuck, I'm not from that area. Well, fucking the Mins isn't from that area. I got people from the area that don't come through like that. I got people that were born and raised in fucking SoCal that don't come through like that. So it's those little things. 2 weeks ago, me and Mins had talked about putting together our own lights and our own sound. Never done it before. But Jersey was pretty successful. So I told Mins, I said, well, can't we just fucking, I don't know. And he's like, I got all the stuff at Guitar Center. Well, can't you fucking go to Guitar Center? He's like, when I get in, I'll go to Guitar. What time do you get in? I'm like, I don't get in until this or that. And Mins is like, when I get in, I'm going to do XYZ. I'll go to Guitar Center. I had bought in lights for Jersey and I overbought. So I had shipped out lights to the Derby room. I knew my cousin Tony was coming in. He put up the lights the last time. I knew the Derby room had put up new house lights that were really powerful. So again, we hadn't tested any of this shit before. But I knew the Mins was there. I knew my cousin was there. So I knew people that could handle this were there. And they said, don't worry about it. We could do this. Again, this is little things that you guys don't know. So when I say this was our best show, it's that type of shit. When me and Moran, even though Moran showed up at 7:15 because he was in the Dominican Republic doing cage fighting, and we went over issues that we had last time, and we went over issues with stuff that I wasn't happy with in New Jersey, and he said, don't worry, I got X, Y, and Z. This is going to make it perfect. It will be flawless. And it was. And what I mean by flawless, the feed. Remember on the last show? People were like, oh, that's pixelation. We're getting this. We're getting that. What's going on? This is crap. So again, all of these things that you don't know are being fixed and they're being rectified to the point where we get done with the show. And we had that place cleaned up. The Mins had that place cleaned up. And now he wasn't by himself, but everybody associated with that crew had that place cleaned up, and we were done by 1 fucking a.m. Might have even been a little bit earlier. That's record time, bro. We're normally, I think when I was talking to Drake, even Drake was like, damn. He's like, I remember the last show, you didn't get back to the hotel till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yeah. The merch table. The Mins ran the merch table. He ran people coming in to get their fucking posters. He ran with the Derby girl, the woman that works for the Derby girl. People coming in. All of that. Like I say, the crew we have now, and it's, listen, there's flaws, there's issues, there's things. You know, we had a seating fuck up. We had little fucking things. The T-shirts, what we could do better, which we've always known. I mean, listen, here is the smart way of doing it. We sell the front row out within 2 weeks of when the show goes on sale. We have everybody's email address. We have people's phone numbers. Somebody should be calling those people, emailing those people, and saying, what size are you, motherfucker? Oh, you're a triple X, you fat fuck? Okay. We get it. Every single person should already have their name associated with their t-shirt size. All of that stuff ready. That should be at our printers. A packet should already be made up. It's not rocket science. But listen, I'm only one motherfucking man. That's it. And I pay a bunch of fucking people to do shit. And it shouldn't take me to go, okay, this is what we got to do, and this is how we got to do it, and then this is what you got to do, and then you got to do that, and you got to do that, and then, okay, then we got to do it. If you want it bad enough, and what did I say in the last segment? You have to make yourself be that valuable that those types of things you take on yourself and go, oh, dude, this is what we need to do to make things better and more efficient. So, can we make those things better? Yes. Will they be better at the next show? Yes. %100%. It's only going to get better from here. Remember, XPW back in 1997 wasn't created on a Monday, and we did our first show on a fucking Tuesday. XPW operated for a little bit of time and created a staff. And created people that wanted to be there. People that wanted to wrestle. People that wanted to be front office. People that wanted to be part of something special. When I relaunched XPW last year, it was jump on the ground and start running. Listen, you want me to seriously give you super kayfabe? I'll give you super. I'll break the super kayfabe, okay? And if it makes me look like hard bodies bitch, then so be it. I was so stressed out. Like, so stressed. To the point of, like, fetal position. Oh my God, this is too overwhelming, stressed out. The day of California. Seriously. The day of California. I remember sitting in that hotel room in like this fetal position and Martini going, are you ready? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea how to put this thing back together. I have no help. I go, everything that we've done right now is been flying by the seat of our pants. I go, we have no film crew. We got guys that have never done this before. I go, I don't know how it's going to come. I don't know. Remember, Rebirth. was in my backyard. That was the whole point of doing it in my backyard. I controlled every aspect of it. I was at the venue probably 18 times setting up that show. It was as if I was doing a show in my backyard. California was doing everything on the phone. But after I got through the self-doubt, I went, well, there's nothing we could do now. We're fucking in it. We're in it. We gotta swim through this fucking shit. And once we get through this shit, we'll assess everything that was wrong and we'll go from that point forward. And that's what we did. So, 2022 was a learning curve. 2022 was basically trial by fire and on-the-job training, even though I've done this for X amount of years. So, putting a team together, and I think if you listen to the podcast going back 3, 4, 5 months, you'll have heard me say, it will eventually come together. I will eventually get all the pieces in place. We will eventually have the team. The phrasing that is always used, trust the process. And once we have that team, we will then be able to go forward and really do great things. And that's what we did with Merry Christmas. Listen, here's a test run. And I was talking to Mins about this. The day and age and I get, and we had this conversation on the show when all the controversy took place with Schlack and his exclusivity. It's one thing to pay the boys more than other promoters do. It's another to pay the boys more and the boys still take what they get from the other promoters. You follow me? It's one thing to say, hey, we're going to raise wages across the board. I'm going to help you guys raise wages across the board. I'm going to help you guys reestablish your self-worth. How much are you getting? Oh, $75? I'm going to give you $150. I'm going to give you double. Now, what you need to do is when promoter B and promoter C calls you, you tell them you get $150. If that guy isn't telling promoter B and C that he's getting $150, that's his new rate, and he's only getting $75, why the fuck should I pay this motherfucker the $150? Guess what? Fuck you. I'm paying you what those two motherfuckers paid you. I gave you the opportunity to have some dignity and self-worth. You don't want to take that dignity and self-worth? Well, guess what? Fuck you. And that motherfucker is what's going to go down in 2023. Oh, you don't want to drive 6 hours to the fucking venue? You want a plane flight? Does promoter B and C get you a plane flight? Oh, they don't? So why the fuck am I flying you? Get them to fucking fly you too. Oh, they won't? And you'll still drive 6 hours to do their show? Well, guess what? Fuck you. If you want to do my show, you're getting in your fucking car and you're driving. If not, go fuck your mother. That's it. So it's not just our crew. It's not just our staff, so to speak, that's trial and error. It's also the boys. And let me explain something to some of the boys that I know are listening. If you don't fucking think that us promoters talk to each other, even the ones that don't like each other, you are sadly mistaken. If you don't think I know what promoter A or promoter B pays you, so when I go, hey, how much you want? So you want me to pay you triple than what promoter fucking A, B, C, and D pay you? What am I, a fucking schmuck on wheels? No. Now it's time to put the fucking work in. And especially when we have some of the boys that are working for us that have worked for some of the other places. And they fucking stooge off what they either had to do or what they know other people had to do. So, a lot of changes in 2023. A lot of fucking changes. But I'm happy where we're going. And I'm happy with the crew. And we're going to add some pieces. And we'll get rid of more people. That's just what happens. And listen, like I said to a certain wrestler 3 weeks ago, it's nothing personal. It's strictly business. None of this is personal. It's all business. It's all business. It's Rob Black. It's the Rob Black Show. Merry fucking Christmas.
Gifts From pop culture gifts to adult fun. T-shirts, mugs, socks, fun, topical gifts for all ages. Then there's mature fun, massage lotions, naughty games, toys, and lingerie. Extreme Gifts specializes in Delta 8 CBD, cartridges, edibles, vaporizers, and vaping liquids. The selection of glass products is amazing. From kratom, kava, flower, and so much more. Extreme Gifts, 1694 Penfield Road, next to the original Steve's Diner.
All right, we're back. It's Roberto Negro. Listen, obviously, whenever we do a show, we don't get to everything all in that first night. And you know, it's like a 1, 2, 3 day process. But how about that card? And listen, I know there was a couple like, but they weren't like the drizzling shits. You know, they weren't like the fucking drizzling shits. But holy fuck, Drake and Masada? Come on, man. Basically, the matches that you knew were going to be good lived up to the expectation. Like, on paper, Shlack, and Ciclope, you knew was going to be fucking lit. And it did. It's like you fucking knew that was gonna fucking be just crazy. You, on paper, and seeing the promos, you knew there was going to be something special with the Necro and Body match. Like, you knew it. You fucking knew it. You knew it. You didn't know what you were going to get, but you knew that, A, the Necro Butcher gimmick is fire. And you know it's fire when you see the fucking woke wrestling jerk-offs not just talking shit about it, but saying, oh yeah, XPW thinks this is going to own liberals. Ha ha ha. Just by them tweeting that and making those comments, it's doing exactly what they're saying it's not going to do. Oh, the XPW thinks this is creative, is gonna upset libs. Ha ha ha. They are so stupid. And yet they all are fucking fixated with XPW. They watch it. Our fucking our TV show is up through the fucking roof. Last week's episode, through the roof. The episode before, through the roof. The Mega Butcher gimmick is exactly what I knew it was going to do. And it just keeps evolving. And watching him come out with those fucking overalls, the American overall, coming out to do the... Listen, remember fucking... You remember the Hammerstein show where Effie comes out and you got, 2,000 fucking kids singing along to Elton John, Tiny Dancer, whatever the fuck it is. Mark my words, as time goes on, you will see more and more and more people singing along to Proud to Be an American, even if they don't necessarily believe in what the Mega Butcher gimmick is. There's something about the goddamn song. There's something about the MAGA Butcher, who everybody knows. There's something about that group and Butcher singing along with the fans that just makes it. Years ago, me and Klein Rock did a whole segment talking about it. And for him doing that song and those fans singing along, you watch. Trust me. So that match lived up to exactly what we all went, oh, God. The Body got the shit beat out of him. But again, the Body's fucking over. The Body character is over. I mean, he is remember, all those characters in the indie world, from F.A. to the Huskier guy to Perro, they're all offshoots of Angel, the OG. And the Body is like all of those characters in a blender, sprinkled with a heavy dose of XPW. And when somebody goes, but it's a character, F.A. is real. Listen to the Rob Black show. You think fucking the Body is doing a gimmick when he's talking about putting cock in his mouth? Talking about only sucking a few cocks? That's a shoot, motherfucker. That is a goddamn shoot. That is a motherfucking shoot. Talking about having cock in his mouth. Talking about having anal sex with a transgender. And then getting done and the transgender wanting to get off. And having to jerk them off. And as he told me in the car, I like to just tell them to jerk off themselves and just eat my ass for like 20 minutes. And then I stare at the wall thinking, what the fuck am I doing? I'm so dirty. I'm ashamed of myself. It's as real as it gets. So, Body's over. The Body's over. And wait till you guys see what we have planned. 2023 TV is going to be just, me and Schlack were talking about this. Schlack's like, he goes, we just keep pushing it. He goes, he's like, it just keeps going there, and it just keeps going there and creeping there. And he goes, and now it's just like, oh yeah. I go, dude, I told you. So 2023, okay? It's going to be wild. The stuff that we have planned for TV is good. So, like I said, that match, it delivered. And I know people were going, well, who's Masada going to wrestle? And who's Drake going to wrestle? Well, you'll see the storylines on where we're going with Drake. But Drake, Masada, main event, not only did it live up to what you would expect in your head, but it went past that. It went past that. Listen, I've been doing this for how long? 25 years? And I've seen them all. That death match was as close to an old school XPW death match as far as building that I have seen in quite a long time. I was literally watching the monitor, and I kept saying to myself, where are they going? I was like, where are they going? Because they're going somewhere. I just don't know where. I don't think they used weapon, like anything of substance, until 5 or 6 minutes in. And I know that's foreign to most deathmatch fans that are in now. Most deathmatch fans now that go to the East Coast deathmatch shows, what are they used to? Ding! You go grab tubes, I'll go grab tubes. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. Urgh! Oh, now I'll hit myself. Ugh! I don't think a real weapon was used until the 5-minute mark. And I think it was Masada going through the glass first. And that match literally took you on this fucking bro. Again, back in the day, and I know wrestling is different now. I know deathmatch wrestling is different now. I know everything is different now. The fans are different. The wrestlers are different. But back in my day, and I know that's the other thing that everybody hates to hear. Back in my day. But when Supreme and those guys were putting together a match, it was like, all right, here's this spot. Here's this spot. Here's that spot. And here's that spot. That's it. And now we're going to build this match and we're going to make all of this stuff special. And it was one of those kind of deja vu's. Is that a word? Deja vu's. But that's what it was. That's what it was. And it delivered. It was amazing. And let's not forget a three-way that saw a new women's champion. When I talk about three women that could work, and you're talking, a commercial wrestler. I consider Taya a commercial wrestler. Impact, WWE or NXT. That circuit of I'm a commercial wrestler. I don't do light tubes. But I do light tubes. I don't bleed. But I'll take blood from that woman and wipe it all over myself. And we saw and have a new women's champion. I will put Lou Dark and Lindsay Snow against any woman worker. Not just deathmatch worker, but worker in the business today. Now, take away the worker, and you just want to say a woman deathmatch wrestler? I don't fuck it. Get from Sawyer Wreck to the Japanese woman. Please. Listen, if I want to put Lindsay and Lou Dark against a guy and have them throw him around and have them fucking have the guy sell for them, they could be exactly what Rena does or is. Smashing light tubes with guys and you're a woman does nothing. It just... It's not appealing to XPW. I like having a women's division. I like watching real women's wrestling. Fucking stiff and hard, and they know what they're doing. I will put Lou Dark and Lindsay against any of them. Any of them. And then let's not leave out the greatest TV champion of all time, Cat Martini. Cat 2-0. The streak lives on. I love the people, and I don't want to break kayfabe too much, but I love some of the people that don't, either they don't get it or they just don't like it and don't want to get it. But the ones that can't comprehend the storyline of Cat Martini. It's like they don't fucking get it or they don't want to get it. But it's a hell of a storyline. It's a hell of a storyline with an eventual payoff. And again, it's part of the bigger picture. And that being XPW is not about 8 matches of guys either flip-flopping on each other or bashing gusset plates over their heads for the sake of bashing gusset plates over their heads. Might not be for everybody, but that's why there's rap music, that's why there's country music, that's why there's classical. Can't be something for everybody. You can have a little of something, but if your real main goal is to be something for everybody, you will fail. You have to pick a lane, and you gotta stay in that lane, and you gotta fucking own that lane. We are XPW. And nobody likes the word sports entertainment. But we are entertainment. As a famous promoter has said once, we make movies. We make movies. We make movies once a month. We make movies every week on TV. That is what we do. If you're upset, if you are sad, if you are happy, if you are excited, we did our job. We entertain. It's Rob Black's The Rob Black Show. I'm going to go eat dinner right now. And we'll pick more of XPW Merry Christmas tomorrow. Tickets are going to go on sale. I heard somebody say, when will tickets go on sale? Well, as you know, we have the dates for all of next year. Now, I'm not going to put on sales for the December show of next year, but we will have a season pass that will be available on Wednesday. So tickets will go on sale Wednesday for February, and I'll give you guys the name tomorrow. So tickets will go on sale. The season pass will go on sale. And you'll be able to secure your front row ticket for the entire year. Give you a little fucking discount. But you'll also have your own steel chair that will be labeled and numbered and sitting with your fucking name on it. I kid you not. So with the season pass comes your own fucking chair with your goddamn name on it. So when you walk into that venue, you know exactly where your chair is, where your fucking name, your whole gimmick. So that will be available Wednesday. Show's going to be wild in February. It's going to be fucking wild, man. It's Rob Black's Rob Black Show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace the fuck out.